You get out.
Justice for Renee Good.
Why do I not see you out at Whipple every day protesting this attack on humanity?
Oh, he's a minor.
Yeah, like a child there in church.
Renee Good.
There's a Constitution and the First Amendment to
please tell us about
freedom of speech and
that.
freedom to assemble and protest.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me, though.
We're here.
You're literally touching him, you.
Why have we not invoked the Insurrection Act? Speaking of last thing to go, I thought we got rid of this son of a bitch.
No.
Don Lemon is still doing things, which I have a problem with. I have a problem with in principle. I don't want him doing anything anymore. I just don't want. I don't want to know about. I don't want to know what we did at Time to Close. I thought we were done with it.
We closed.
And here's the thing: it's not like he keeps coming back because he's trying really hard and he has grit, determination. He's just there. So
herpes.
Yeah. So let me be really clear here. We're going to talk about the Insurrection Act, the FACE Act, what needs to be done. The ICE protests are not about protecting innocent people at all. Just to be, we know that at this point. It is about people who hate this country, who hate everything that makes America America. Let's just say they hate Americanism. We don't even need American exceptionalism because America is already exceptional. These people hate Americanism. They hate the very fabric that is weaved, that is the foundation of our society. And of course, this Sunday, these continue. I don't know why we haven't invoked the Insurrection Act yet.
Yeah.
They decided to make their voices heard by invading and disrupting a church as a way to validate their argument of standing up for freedom to peaceably assemble.
Renee Good. Renee Good.
I call her Renee Bad.
Where are you? Where are you?
Justice has already been done to Renee
Why
Good.
are you not at Whipple every day fighting for the humanity, standing for our people? Where are you? You drink your coffee, you got your jewelry, you have your nice clothes, but what do you do? What do you do to stand for your Somali and Latino communities? I'm not going to comment. You have no comment.
Not my
Exactly.
community.
What are they doing for me?
Yeah, like a child there in church.
Renee Good.
Yeah.
These people.
I guess we abandoned to Latinx. Remember that? Just Latino communities. All right. So are we just supposed to act like you didn't accuse people of hate speech for not using your new made-up term because now this is what we're supposed to go along with? I got it. And then I bet you'll tell us how to be Christians. Or I bet you'll tell us how we need to honor the Constitution by not pursuing child sex offenders who are here illegally. All right. That also makes sense when you understand, or at least it provides some context as to why they were alongside and they were egged on by this journalist to document Don Lemon. We have to bring back the old stinger. Here is self-described Christian sodomite Don Lemon confronting the pastor at the church. Sorry, wrong
Different.
clip.
It's weird. He's got
Easy mistake.
Yeah.
Here's the clip of noted Christian sodomite Don Lemon.
What do you think of this?
I mean, this is unacceptable. It's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship.
But there were folks who will say,
I have to take care of my flock.
okay, but listen, we live in there's a Constitution and the First Amendment to
please
freedom
tell
of
us about
speech and
that.
freedom to assemble and protest.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me, though.
We're here.
You're literally touching him, you.
That's why we're here. Okay, that's why we're here. That's what we're about.
Don't you think Jesus would be understanding
We're about
and love these folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them as a
No
Christian?
one
As they
is
scream?
willing to talk.
Why?
I have to take care of my church and my family, so I asked that you actually would also leave this building.
You don't want us to
Unless you're here to
chronicle what
worship.
happened?
Unless you're here to worship.
I'm always worship. I'm a Christian.
We're here to worship.
You're always
We're here to
worshiping?
worship. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's always worshiping. Yeah. And again, whenever
He's always
someone-
on his knees.
Yeah. When someone on the left throws out, I'm a Christian, shouldn't Christians do X? Wouldn't Jesus do X? Wouldn't Jesus be a socialist? Or they say, hey, don't you care about the Constitution? You know that they're lying. These people simply use it as a cudgel. They don't care about it. We know that. These are the people who wanted to lock you up. These are the people who obviously wanted quarantine camps, wanted vaccine mandates. These are people who want to force you to bake gay wedding cakes. These are people who who hate everything about your very belief system, and then they want to teach you how to follow said belief system. Discount it immediately. And by the way, this was somehow less controversial, if you can believe it, than Don Lemon's last appearance in a church, which seems like, hey, I'm not a fan of it.
Oh,
He's a homo.
For those on audio, just stay on audio. That's okay for that one. He goes, why don't you talk to them? Hey, let me ask you this. You ever had a good conversation start off with the opposing party going, say what I want you to say or shut up. Say my thing. Say my thing. Agree with say my thing. And yeah, hey, let's have a conversation. But they'll shoot you if you show up with a sign and let anyone discuss. Remember Charlie Kirk? Talk with them. Well, we know how to do that. We've been doing that for decades. You don't get to scream and then tell us how we converse with you. That's actually effectively holding a conversation hostage. You're a conversational terrorist. Did you know that?
where's that entitlement come from too? Like, I have to have a conversation with you? No, I don't. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
There's nothing in life that I have to do except for pay my taxes and then die someday. There's nothing I have to do. I don't have to talk to you. You come in and interrupt my church service. I have to talk to you?
Yeah.
No.
Here's the
I don't
funny
have to do
thing.
anything.
They do have to not impede a church service if people are worshiping freely and peacefully.
Legally.
Yeah, exactly. They're the ones who actually have to wait. So Don Lemon added after this that this is actually, in case you guys didn't know, Christian Don Lemon is going to educate you. This is what protest is all about.
You know, I've imagined it's uncomfortable and traumatic for the people here, but again, careful, it's very slippery right here.
Well, that's your
It's uncomfortable and
Astroglide leaking.
traumatic for the people here, but that's what really, careful, please, really slippery, not kidding. That's what protesting is about. What some of the folks said in
Protesting
there,
about traumatizing children.
you know, that this is, they shouldn't be there and, you know, they shouldn't be uncomfortable and this is our house and whatever. That's what protesting is about, is to make people uncomfortable. You may not like it.
That's actually not. It's actually not what protest is about.
Right.
Protest is about making your point or voice heard, particularly if you haven't been able to make it another way or if this is the most effective way. It's not even about making people uncomfortable, to be clear. Sometimes you can protest and people can be incredibly comfortable, especially if it's an issue that may be a populist issue or has groundswell support. So that's not the primary purpose of protest. It can be a side effect. It's a primary purpose of what you're doing, because you guys are domestic terrorists. So check all of the references. Let me explain to you the what, who, when, where, why here. So what happened is these people, of course, were intimidating Christians at church during their service. It was at City's Church in St. Paul, which is a Bible-based, as I understand it, a non-denominational church, but pretty traditional as far as their beliefs on social issues. And they targeted this pastor, David Easterwood, specifically, I guess because he's expressed more traditional views, for example, on marriage. I'm not entirely sure why they targeted him.
Well, he is the acting ICE field office director in Minnesota.
Were we able to confirm that?
Yeah,
That he is? Okay. I wanted to make sure. So okay, let's add that to there. That means the children in the church, I guess, are directly involved with ICE as well. I don't know if you know this, but they're very often pastors who have other jobs. They're there acting as pastor.
That also means that they're not there to change any minds.
Right.
They weren't there to change any minds whatsoever. It was never about protesting. It was never about being heard. No. It was all about agitation, disruption.
Well, the good news is we have, you can determine who is the protagonist, who is the antagonist, who's the hero, who's the villain, because, you have Pastor Easterwood there, and he has his traditional views, and he may be acting as a field office director for ICE there in Minnesota. Contrast that with the protest leader, Nakima Levy-Armstrong, who's the NAACP Minnesota president, participated, of course, in the Black Lives Matter riots in both Ferguson, Missouri, and Bloomington, Minnesota. And this person actually spoke with noted Christian sodomite Don Lemon, detailing the group's tactics.
Tell us why you're doing this.
This is Operation Pull Up, more of a clandestine operation. We show up somewhere that is a key location. They don't expect us to come there, and then we disrupt business as usual. So that's what we're about to go do right now.
You get out.
Justice for Renee Good and letting them know that this will not stand. They cannot pretend to be a house of God while harboring someone who is directing ICE agents to wreak havoc upon our community and who killed Renee Good, who almost killed a 6-month-old baby. Enough is enough. I am a reverend on top of being a lawyer and an activist. So I come here in the power
And
of
a
the
queen, I'm
Almighty
sure.
God.
Yeah, I'm a reverend too. I get it. I paid for the stamps. That's it. I'm at this point. You see, you know what? It's time to send in super ice.
All right, everyone, chill.
Yeah.
Thanks, Arnold.
Okay, you do it, Josh.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you guys doing?
Electroshock therapy.
Oh, obviously, but why?
To wake us up, of course.
Yeah, to get amped, we got a show to do.
Yeah.
But you don't have to. You don't have to do this, okay? You don't have to do this. There are better.
Think gay thoughts. I hear electroshock is good for gay thoughts.
No. Stop. Listen, guys. There are better ways to wake yourselves up, okay? Okay?
Good point, Gerald. We forgot to wet the sponge. The electrical.
Stop whatever in the Green Mile you're doing right now and just try Blackout Coffee. You know the guys that you worked with to make the strange animal blend? Ring a bell?
Why don't I remember that?
One guess. Here.
That's good.
Yeah.
Let me try.
Yeah.
Yeah, you take these.
Okay. Abba's Go to blackoutcoffee.com/Crowder. Use the promo code Crowder for 20% off your first order and try the new exclusive Strange Animal Brew. Yes, I chose the beans. It is the blend that we drink here exclusively, and now I'm making it available to you. I am a reverend, therefore I don't know if you know this, there's actually a process. We actually, historically, when churches have disagreed, sometimes they're called schisms. You guys know that? Where like they actually part, and they're actually, sometimes conclaves that are held. They're actually committees, and people determine what their theology is or the direction of the church. It's not just walking in, lying, saying that this person almost killed a 6-month-old baby and screaming. Let me ask you this. How would you have a conversation with them? Why don't you just talk with them? Isn't it always interesting, the people who say, why don't you just talk with them, at the people who say, I won't talk with that person. I won't platform that person. This is why when people say, don't platform X, I will talk with those protesters or those rioters if given the opportunity. But I'm fully aware that these are lawless heathens. It would be a double standard if I'm willing to hear them out so that I can highlight to you how awful they are while deplatforming someone else. I hope you understand why we stand that way across the board.
Yeah.
I will talk with him. I will talk with Don Lemon. I disagree with Don Lemon far more than I disagree with anyone, even on the far right, dissident right. What he believes is evil enough to not be platformed. But we don't believe in that as conservatives. Here's also, by the way, another...
Before we move on to the other guy, so I did some digging into her background just a little bit, so take this for what you can. Allegedly, she spoke at churches in the past on a monthly basis, so she was some kind of a reverend, but there's no official tie to any church. And the only reason I bring that up is not to really hang too much of my hat on that, but if that's in any way remotely true, she should know better. She should know better than that. There is a way to protest. There is a way to make your voice heard. There is a way to pick out a specific person that you think is more responsible for some of the carnage in your city than others and protest that person. What you did was not the way. And as somebody who's a reverend, you should have known that. Not just legally, but just take all of that out. In the house of God, you're going to do that? No. You want to go protest outside the church? I still don't like that, but that would have been better. Yeah. None of you wanted to hear from anybody else. You just wanted to yell and scream and terrorize or traumatize, as Don Lemon said, children.
Well, maybe you want to hear from someone else who can tell you how to be a good Christian. Meet William Kelly. He's the other notable protester here who definitely thinks that you are doing Christianity wrong, and he'll prove it by berating and accosting people, including minors, at the church.
All these comfortable white people who are living lavish, comfortable lives while children are dragged into concentration camps. You're living real life, nice lives with your lattes, doing absolutely nothing for your Latino and Somali brothers and sisters. You come here to a man wearing a suit. Is a preacher? Did Jesus wear a suit? Did Jesus profit off the word?
What?
No. Jesus would dine with
Go to black church and say that.
Yeah.
Touch me again and see what happens.
I dare you.
Stupidest
You are
argument.
a fake Christian. Why are you not standing with your Somali and Latino communities? Why do I not see you out at Whipple every day protesting this attack on humanity?
Oh, he's a
Where are
minor.
you? You're sinners. You're pretending to be Christians. But we know you live an easy life, don't you? A very easy life while people are starving.
How do you know?
Shame.
I love it. It's at the end, like he thinks, he hasn't been convincing enough. Shame!
Shame on you.
Ah! Got all of that one. And here's the thing. This is also why you don't try and appease these people. Far be it from me to defend the prosperity gospel churches where
Right.
they come out to poison or whatever it is. But this is also one of those things where you don't need to be ashamed, let's say, if you are successful or you're a part-time pastor who happens to do okay. This is not a showy church. This is not a gaudy church. It's very traditional. You can see those seats are likely having to be placed out there, put back. It's a very traditional, modest church, and the guy is dressed in respectably, and they're trying to act like he's Joel Osteen. The point is, you cannot try and adhere to their standards. And I can tell you this, if Jesus did wear a suit, he'd rock it. He'd rock it really well. Yes, bolo tie is a bold choice,
Yes.
but he is the savior of mankind, so he can do it.
He's the rancher of men.
I bet you he could even wear stripes with patterns because he's Lord. Now, this
I bet
man,
you he'd wear a purple suit.
I bet you he could.
A three-piece purple suit.
I bet you he
with
could.
a purple tie.
He could Cedric the Entertainer wear that, and I wouldn't have a problem with it.
With a feather in his cap,
Lord.
too.
So this guy, this Kelly, professional protester, by the way, he's been participating in these protests for a very, very long time. This is what he does. I don't know how that helps everyone's lives. It's okay to protest, but you also have to be doing something else to add value.
Not him.
But here's the thing. Him and noted Christian sodomite Don Lemon, they want to tell you how to be Christians, and they'll use religion, of course, when convenient as a cudgel. Here is Kelly on religion and spirituality.
Missions may be different, but the outcome is the same. We're here for peace. So today on Christmas, I will be walking with the monks for peace to their next stop.
So you're a volunteer or an employee of this organization and you don't understand the history of the controversy? Do you know?
I understand the history way better than you.
No, but obviously you don't. What about what about the lawsuits? What about the pedophilia lawsuits?
I'm just going to ask.
What about?
And we want people to wake up.
We want women's health care. We
and
want
not
affordable housing and food.
Why are you indoctrinating the children and women?
So we've been invited to the local Somali mosque.
Women can think for
and as
themselves,
you can
I think.
See how beautiful it is. This is where they do their
That's what I
prayer.
believe traditionally.
This is where normally 500 people will, come and make prayer, but things
Will
are quiet
reject the
because
divinity of
local
Christ,
community
correct.
Is scared to come out. They're terrified. How can these people be not afraid to go out of their homes, afraid to go practice their prayer, while these rich white people can live like nothing's happening?
Oh, okay. So that's right. Being a follower of Jesus is tolerating and linking arms with a religion that denies the divinity of Christ. Good teacher, nice guy, not the savior or Messiah for mankind. So that's Islam's worldview. But really, the condemnation should be reserved exclusively for immutable characteristics like being white or potentially being successful, my God. And here's noted Christian sodomite Don Lemon on what he views Christianity to be, and so should you.
Jesus Christ, if that's who you believe in, Jesus Christ, admittedly was not perfect when he was here on this earth.
What?
So why are we
No.
deifying the founders of this country? Maybe Joseph was, this sort of gay guy who said,
What?
this woman.
Okay, everybody pick yourself up off the floor.
Right. I don't want her to die or be stoned to death or whatever because she, got pregnant and she's not married. And then, I am not married and whatever. So,
and whatever.
This is kind of perfect.
You got engaged to your fiance, Tim, in 2019. And this morning, and you guys are so cute, we learned that the Vatican has said that the Catholic Church won't bless same-sex unions. Do you think this sends a damaging message? And how do you feel about that, given that obviously you are now engaged, going to get married?
The Catholic Church and many other churches really need to re-examine themselves and their teachings, because that is not what God is about. God is not about hindering people or even judging people.
It's kind of judging people is kind of what he's known for.
Yeah.
He's in the business.
That's kind of his whole thing.
And do you see, again, I've talked about the moving the goalposts, right? We went from only God can judge me. Actually, the literal judge can judge you.
Yes.
And God is the final judge, of course. But we're allowed to make judgments. We're actually called to make judgments. We're actually called to make judgments by the fruit of the Spirit, right? We will know a tree by its fruit.
Yeah.
We are told. So let me get this straight. Jesus wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Then he's not the spotless lamb. He couldn't be
spotted. He admitted it, by the way. He admitted he wasn't perfect.
Lamb.
Spotted lamb.
Yeah, he would be a spotted lamb. Joseph might have been gay.
No, was.
He was gay.
He was totally gay
right.
and a martyr for sticking up for Mary.
It wasn't an immaculate conception because Mary just got knocked up by somebody.
Right,
yes,
exactly.
Yeah, some random guy named
Well, that would explain
Ahmed.
why Jesus isn't perfect.
Yeah.
And again, he's going to tell you how to be a Christian. And then finally, the last one was God also. So we've gone from only God can judge me to also God isn't going to judge me. Well, then let me ask you, who's going to judge you for your decadent, degenerate, sodomite lifestyle?
Tim.
Yeah, his husband.
Not our Tim. He'll do that too, but his husband
I'll
Tim.
judge him.
That's right, his husband Tim.
Yeah,
his husband.
both two Tims.
Okay. Can we just no longer act as though you can even be a leftist, a liberal, and a Christian? Hey, actually comment below. Do you think you can be, and I don't mean you support maybe higher marginal tax rates. Do you believe that in 2026 you can vote for the Democrat Party and be a Christian? I don't. Or at least you don't understand it. You would just have to be ignorant.
Yeah.
Now, that other protester, back to Kelly, spoke with noted Christian sodomite Don Lemon about standing up for immigrants.
I hate to
What's up, Don?
interrupt the loudest guy here. How are you? Nice to meet you. What's your name?
William Kelly. I've actually filmed for Jolly Good Ginger on your show.
Oh, wow.
I'm a good buddy of Jolly.
Yes. How are you? Why are you here?
I'm here to stand up for immigrant rights. I'm here to stand up for humanity. We're seeing a clear violation of the Constitution every day, so I'm standing up in my immigrant community. Nobody should have comfort right now while our immigrant communities are afraid to leave their houses. It's really easy to ignore what's happening. Just as in Poland in 1939, communities ignored a concentration camp a mile away from them. It is really easy. So that's why we're here. We're here to hopefully change a few minds, hopefully to wake a few people up. I was encouraging people in there to be at Whipple with me later today, standing up for, the community.
The entitlement, it's not just about things anymore. It's clearly if people don't agree with my view, I am entitled to violate the law, disrupt everything, and bother everyone. Remember the left used to be, stay out of our bedrooms. Hey, Christians, stop trying to police the world. Let us live and let live. Now it's, you can't enjoy church on a Sunday unless you agree with me exactly, or I will disrupt everything you want to do, and then I'll cry victim when I have to face consequences. Why have we not invoked the Insurrection Act? It can and it should be when the state and when local officials fail or refuse, as in this case, to protect people's constitutional rights. In this case, you can marry it with the FACE Act, a twofer.
Go.
Prosecutors can criminally charge anyone who, quote, by force or threat of force or by physical obstruction intimidates or interferes with any person lawfully exercising or seeking to exercise the First Amendment right of religious freedom at a place of religious worship.
Dadgummit.
You're going to tell us about constitutional rights?
Oh, that pesky Constitution. You got to read the whole thing.
I know.
Yeah.
And all the acts and everything. That's so much reading.
By the way, if they don't enforce the FACE Act here, they're going to have a really big problem because they've been using that very provision of the FACE Act to put Christians in prison for protesting abortion centers. Mm-hmm. Oh,
oof. Yikes.
Man, this is going to be a rough one if you don't do that.
Is that also acknowledging that abortion centers are places of worship?
Well, for Satan.
Yeah. Bah.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, this isn't a place of worship. Oh, yeah, didn't you see Beelzebub hovering over the...
The last video of that guy is a great example of how dumb these commies are and what they're really about.
Yep.
He said nobody should be comfortable if some people are not comfortable.
Right.
He's like,
then I guess no one will ever be comfortable.
And he's in the church going, oh, aren't you comfortable? You rich people in your comfort. Well, you have lattes. Look at you can afford milk and 2 shots of coffee.
Yeah. They got it from an urn in the church basement.
Yeah. That's commie stuff right there. It's like, well, if I'm miserable, then everyone else should be equally miserable.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's my idea, so I'll be on top.
Yeah.
While the Somalis owning daycares are driving Bentleys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Look, there have been people who've spoken on this too. There have been attorneys out there, AGs who've talked about this. You guys know about the Insurrection Act, about the FACE Act here. Read up on it. Go check out the references. We're at the point, it needs to be invoked. We're at the point that Americans' constitutional rights need to be protected. We're at the point where we know who these people are. The mask is off. They are Marxists. They are communists. They've told you until everyone is comfortable, meaning until everything is redistributed and everyone who wants whatever they want in this country, including citizenship, including tax benefits, they will disrupt and they will violate your fundamental constitutional rights. That's it. It's over. Insurrection Act. Every single person who does this, round them up, arrest them. If they resist, beat them and arrest them. Beat them to the level of appropriateness given the situation to get them into your paddy wagon and into the local jail. They don't have the right to do this. They are now affecting everyone else who is continuing to go to work, who are continuing to act as the bedrock of this economy. You, the American worker, you, the taxpayer, you, American contributor, the left wants to turn you into criminals. That's what they want to do when they want to say that you guys are insurrectionists, when they want to ban your right to own firearms, and they want to turn criminals into a voting base. They want to mobilize criminals. We have seen it with the Summer of Love. We have seen it with them trying to change the census rule, trying to get illegal aliens to vote, opposing voter ID. They want you to be scared, and they want to turn you twisted. You're now the criminal, not the actual violent offenders, including child sex predators who are here illegally and still inhabiting our prisons. This is not America. This shouldn't be allowed. I don't want to hear any more libertarian bullshit about how the founding fathers would have wanted us to be free this way. No one feels free in Minneapolis right now who is obeying the law. Oh, you're still here? And you're still watching this on YouTube? You've probably noticed something is missing by now. I'm not here. That's because the Live Daily Show is now streaming exclusively on Rumble weekdays at 11 a.m. Eastern. Tune in there, where nothing is censored.